me wanna holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Oh, you know, we need them. Yeah, we need them. We need those strategies. Strategies for living. You ready? You ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
Oh, I'm ready as ever.
Yeah.
I think we get to solve a few soul mysteries today.
Well, maybe. Yeah. I'm going to start. I'm going to ask you to use your imagination, Lauren, because you're psychic, right?
Okay.
Can you imagine having a detective badge on you?
Sure.
Yeah, you can imagine that?
Yeah.
Well, our life strategist could be that. Nancy Orlen Weber has actually worked side by side with detectives, with federal agents, and she's done that to solve murders, to locate missing people, reunite families with lost pets, and it's all about using her intuitive gifts. She is a sought-after medium and animal communicator and holistic health educator. She's got over 45 years of experience, a lot of books out there, but I got my eye caught Soul Detective, the book Soul Detective, which actually has a 5-star. It's a reader's favorite, and it's how to solve the inner mystery of you. Now, the reason that attracted my attention is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can, yeah.
because we can get so hung up on
everything
all of the drama outside.
Yeah.
And yet,
I imagine in her work she could too.
I'm sure.
Easily.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But there's so much work for all of us to do. Detective work, investigative work.
Sure.
Inside of ourselves. So when I saw Soul Detective, how to solve the inner mystery of you, it was a no-brainer at all. I had to invite Nancy Orlen Weber on to Strategies for Living. So
I'm so glad you did. I am excited.
I knew you would be.
Yeah.
Adjust your badge there. It's a little crooked.
Oh,
yeah.
got it.
Folks, thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Strategies for Living. We appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate our sponsors who make it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, Azalea Cleaners, Pintail Roofing, Learning RX, We Train Your Brain, the Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of the Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage, pretty good Muffies too, SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. Back in a moment, we're going to meet Nancy Orlen Weber, Soul Detective, right here on Strategies for a Living. We'll be right back.
Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul align. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio rehab every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem dry. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
And welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian. I'm Dr. David McMillian. Let's welcome into the program now our life strategist, Nancy Weber. She is a renowned psychic detective featured in documentaries. She's a spiritual guide. She's an animal communicator and medical intuitive. She's got decades of experience. She's uniquely equipped to lead us through our inner exploration with both clarity and compassion, helping us all to uncover our soul's true purpose. Nancy Orlen Weber, welcome to Strategies for Living.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, David and Lauren. I also want to thank that music you have.
Oh,
I love it.
well, thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Oh, I was moving to it. It was great.
Awesome.
We have more where that came
Oh,
from,
yeah,
Nancy.
we enjoy making them.
I
Yeah,
bet.
yeah. All right.
Beautiful.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
so Soul Detective, how young did you learn that you could do what you do? How did it open up for you?
Actually, it happened before birth,
Oh,
in odd ways, yes. And I had a being by my side in the crib explaining to me everything I didn't understand.
wow.
I never called it anything.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, I didn't. Do we know what to call anything when we're about 24 hours old? Or
No,
whatever?
no, we don't
No.
have
But-
don't have the language or anything, the labels. Yeah.
Everything's
Right.
one still at that point almost.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful, right?
Yeah, we're all born Buddhist. we,
I love that.
We
Well,
and the
that's
world are
wonderful.
one. Yeah.
Right. And so I didn't call it anything when things would be shown to me, when I saw death, when it would occur. Some people who I loved would come to me in my sleep to say goodbye. I'd wake up crying, and then they'd get the call that they had just died. Things of that sort happened. Blurting out things I knew, and I didn't know where they came from. So I know that I was not raised in a way to understand it.
Right.
I was raised in a way not to talk about it. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But I was fascinated by people and animals.
Hmm.
I wanted to know their whole story. I would sit on a bus and I would make up stories about everybody I saw.
Hmm.
Only I wanted to know if it was real.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And that led me into studying very early in life, along with some traumas early in life, psychology, abnormal psych. When I was like in 6th grade, I did a thesis on the history of the insane asylum.
Wow.
And right, I just needed to know all those things. They were all part of my life. And then gradually, because of certain circumstances, I became a nurse. In nursing, I learned that everyone appreciated that I could cut through mistakes and find the truth.
Hmm.
Doctors were fine with it, which shocked me.
Yeah.
And I was 19, and so nobody backed away for the first time. They asked questions for the first time, and I was thrilled. I also learned about things I didn't know, like working on a person who is bedridden and just working on their back with my fingers, not knowing what I was doing. And they sent me a 2-page letter thanking me on what it did for them. And I'm thinking, I have no idea what I did.
Huh.
So it wasn't until I was in running a psych unit where I was allowed to do it my way without hardly any drugs ever given. And I could see a hallucination and see behind it what caused it. I can see a catatonics hands, and though my hands needed to talk to his hands, he was nonverbal 20 years, and he became verbal in 5 minutes.
Wow.
And so those things taught me there's a lot more we have in us than we'd ever guess.
Yeah. Wow. What
Right?
what wonderful contribution to psychology and psychiatry that and how wonderful that they allowed you to use your gifts in that way. That's beautiful. What,
Yes, I looked and searched. I always wanted it, but I wouldn't. It was my last job. There was an experimental unit that I thank every day the people who put it together, who got the grant for it. And some of the best people. Dr. Peter Kimmel was a resident in training, and he introduced me to Manufacture of Madness, the treatise of why the doctors in the Middle Ages hated who was taking the money away from them. The women of the villages helping out as natural herbalists and healers, etc.
Yeah.
And so it's a true treatise and introduced me to so much. Everybody there introduced me to so much and allowed me to do what I wanted, which was go in depth behind the scenes, go to the soul, not the illusion, not the thing they're showing. And I learned that, to me, schizophrenia in one person is totally different than another. So your body must have different deficiencies, brain damage, traumas, whatever. There's more to it than they say.
Not a one
So we
size
were
fits all. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Nothing was ever that way. And I loved that everyone got it. And if they didn't get it, they listened and then they got it. It was wonderful. And then we had a man, Dr. Ed Kaufman, ran the director of psychiatry for New York State. After the place went on fire and different things happened, it was South Bronx, and I put it all together. One day at noon, I smelled smoke in one of the 10 bedrooms, and we were only allowed 10 people, 10 days stay, etc. And I walked in and I smelled smoke to an empty room. And I called in the staff and they said, "What drugs are you on?" And I said, "No, you can't smell it." 24 hours exactly later,
Wow.
it was set on fire by a new admission.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I knew right away what he did and why he did it, etc. And when I accused him afterwards, when we emptied the place out, etc., I was so relieved to finally put together the idea that this is a gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Ed asked me if I would work with him and become the co-researcher for the state. I said no. Matter of fact, I asked him if he wanted my ex-husband, who was a physician looking for psychiatry training. And he said, "You're kidding." I said, "No, why don't you go to him? I don't want this anymore." And I left, not knowing what I would do, but I knew I had to leave nursing. I was permanently disabled because of my first husband, who had attempted a murder. So, but I felt he was on the track to looking into himself. Even though, I had divorced him a long time, but I thought it was very important that he do good work because he was still around.
Sure.
I didn't want him to hurt himself or others.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Sure. All right. Now, so we're focusing this evening on the new book, Soul Detective, but your first book was really the story of you being a psychic detective. It was called Life of a Psychic Detective. That, I guess, was your
how did you go
previous
from
book.
Nursing to
psychic detective? Yeah, how'd you get into helping?
Connect the thought dots for us there.
How'd you get your badge to help solve crimes?
I love my badge, by the way. That's why I put it on the cover. That's my wallet. It's a police wallet gifted to me by the commissioner who made the badge for me. So I carry it all the time. So how I got to it was when I finally opened my doors in the first year, I left nursing, and I was physically disabled. That's why I actually left. I couldn't keep up.
Right.
But then I had a miracle. I had no idea why or what, but suddenly there was no physical pain. I could take off a body brace I wore 11 years, and I had had 2 major surgeries before. I was missing parts, but all of a sudden I felt great. And so I knew it was a miracle, and people who knew me started showing up and asking me, and that's how I became medical intuitive. So that just expanded into meeting people who were in the field, Dr. Andrea Puharich, Marcel Vogel, people who, if anyone studies the background, they know who they are. Andrea lived 10 minutes from me. He invited me to meet, to come do all kinds of things. All that led me to feel more confident that this is interesting. And I journaled everything because I wanted to prove to myself what the heck is going on here.
Yeah.
But I moved from Peekskill, New York, where I had lived, to New Jersey in 1979, August. Within a couple of months, I signed up my 4-year-old at that time, my son, for karate because he was taking it in New York, and so was I. So I looked, there was a local dojo, Taekwondo. So I signed him up, and this little slip of a woman, Michelle, I didn't know she was the first female police officer in Mount Olive. She asks me after class, there maybe 2 months in New Jersey, and somebody picked up I was an animal communicator who found missing pets. So they put me on the front page of the Mount Olive Chronicle. Psychic animal communicator finds missing, whatever. And so she knew that and said, we have a rape in town. And before she could finish the sentence, an image popped in my mind. And Lauren, being very psychic, knows exactly what I mean. And so I just shared that image instantly. And she said, would you mind talking to my superior officer? I said, sure.
And that's where it
Next
started.
week,
That's where
That's where it started.
Nancy
I worked
Orlen.
with him.
Nancy Orlen Weber is our life strategist today. We've got a lot to learn. We're going to shift our focus from the outer to the inner when we come back. The new book is called Soul Detective, and we're going to do some detective work inside today.
The best place.
Inside here
That's
on
right.
Strategies. We'll be right back.
Facing the same old problems day to day makes you wanna holler, get away. Looking for the road that'll get me there, looking for hope and peace to spare. Looking for strategies. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab strategies.
And welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian with Nancy Orlen Weber today, the author of Soul Detective, How to Solve the Inner Mystery of You. We'll get into that, and you can listen along with us, and I hope you will. But you might want to check out online NancyOrlenWeber.com, because there you'll find a lot of resources and a lot of opportunities to deepen your experience, and that includes private mentor sessions and all kinds of things like that. Plus, NancyOrlenWeber.com. I've mentioned that. There's also the YouTube channel, and that's Soul Talk with Nancy Orlen Weber, a Facebook page and a Facebook group. So lots of ways that you can interact with Nancy Orlen Weber. Let's kind of make the transition here, because I could talk to you all day about the psychic detective stuff, and I hope people will go get the first book, and if they're interested in that. But here's my question: why are we so drawn to those kind of dramatic stories? Those kind of, and we're not just stories like that, but also our media, the movies we watch, the television shows. A lot of it is drama, pulls us in. It might be mystery, might be shoot 'em up. Why do we get so focused there to the disadvantage of the detriment of discovering this wonderful world within?
Wow. Is that all? Oh my God.
Yeah,
So-
easy. I just posed the most easy question in the world for you to answer, right?
That's fine. I think, you know what? When you ask questions, just like I ask questions, it allows all of us, everyone listening, all of us to consider, why? Because it's worldwide. True crime is number one in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're drawn to it. We're drawn into it.
Right. Well, I think we know first that humans, if you turn on your own species in any sense of the word, a lack of any empathy, a lack of consciousness about anybody else except yourself, you are automatically in a crime mood, if you will. It means that you're not interested in the effects it has on anybody else. So it has a rippling effect on everybody, not just one person, because we are all connected. All life is connected.
Right.
So if I take that as the first premise, right, and that it's a wireless universe, and we believe that now. When we take that as our belief system in that way, then everything affects us. And we want to solve the problems. And we look at others. I watch, for instance, Mariska Hargitay on Law and Order SVU because as a crime victim from the past, not discussing what it is or it doesn't matter, she and the whole team who write the scripts, who direct it, who do the lighting, everyone involved understands the seriousness of something, right?
Right.
Everyone watching learns and gains more empathy because they are showing something, even if you're not close or never know anybody who's ever had anything, which is pretty impossible in our world. You gain more empathy when you care. So shows that show us a problem and a solution that is fair, maybe justice, maybe not justice,
Right.
maybe loving, maybe not loving, in order for you to want to solve it. The series, any series that continues on not as standalone pieces, but as a series with an undercurrent, you want to solve that problem. If you ever saw on Hallmark, the new one, Mistletoe Murders, my husband said, "What do you like it?" I said, "I love it. Be quiet." I gotta watch.
I love it. Yeah.
Because I was watching how it tracks, how it has an undercurrent mystery. You need to know what that is about. Is she going to be in any trouble? Or I'm going to figure out what it is. What it does is key your mind to puzzles and how they work.
Yeah.
Children learn that, right? Give them a puzzle of anything. It depends on what, whether how to read, how to write your letters. Letters are the first art you ever do. Your own name, that's artwork.
Sure.
So they have you dig deep inside. This is inner soul work. So, yeah.
Your invitation to all of us is you want all of us, in a sense, to become a soul detective. That's what your invitation is.
Without a doubt. I want everybody to care about how beautiful they are inside.
What's the first what's the first step, that people could do to become curious and to kind of tune in because it is, again, we live in a ego-based world. We've just kind of set that up with all of the drama out there. We're drawn out there. So how do what's the first step to redirect in here?
Okay. It's my first step that I took when I recognized something's going on and my stress was off the charts. I don't care how busy you are. You've got 30 seconds. You've got a minute. You can turn off your phone. You can turn off the furnace, which is what I did because everything bothered me. Lay down. And if you have anything like a heavier book, you put it on your belly. Remember how a baby breathes. You breathe in deep inside and you have the belly take all the air first before the chest. Belly breathing oxygenates your brain and relaxes all the muscles. If you do it often enough and slow enough, either throughout the day, even at a stop sign, a red light, anywhere, that's going to change your whole life. And I mean it, your whole life,
Yeah.
just by that simple, wondrous act of connection inside you. You need everything connected, even if you're in serious pain. You need it because even in pain, what do? You tighten up.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite needs to happen to heal. So
I
for
love
me,
I love what you just advised. If
Mm-hmm.
you have a heavy
okay, but
book,
there's another part.
Okay.
There's another part to it.
okay,
Because like myself, there may be a lot of people here listening who get bored doing something like that because
okay,
you're not ready to relax.
yeah,
Yeah.
Imagine the light carries your breath into your body and it's filled with the spectrum of light. And as it goes in, it makes music throughout the cells. The cells
Ooh.
respond to the communication between the light, the air, your breath, and it creates this great communication inside. You can play with it that way. And when you play with it that way, you may not want to do just 30 seconds or a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
may take a little longer. So you stretch it out by using vision until you know how to do empty, if you ever do. Each of us is so different with it. So those are the ideas that will help anybody, whether they like silence, whether they like their mind busy, because we've got a very stressed out world today.
Yes.
Your choice, but find a way to concentrate and know what's going on, that you love it, and that your whole body is connecting to your soul.
I love that because it's literally reconnecting you with the instrument of yourself. I mean, what it sounds like to me is you're encouraging us to listen to our own music, because it's not far from, in actuality, what happens, is it?
Yeah, we're we're
Yeah.
energy and vibration. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that music, it may surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the wonder of discovering your own soul, which is endless and infinite. And when we do that, up comes other things. So when they start coming up, that's the next step. You need to look at where your mind is being triggered away from the peace. And that's what the rest of all the exercises and journal prompts and visions that I create for myself first. Everything in the book is what I've done for me because I needed it.
Right.
I want to mention that the book, and again, folks, the book is called Soul Detective: How to Solve the Inner Mystery of You, and it's chock full of exercises and ideas to help you go within to explore. You know, where most of us have not gone before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started to talk about, you mentioned triggers, right? I think many of our listeners are familiar with the idea that, you know, what we don't heal repeats. How does your method, the Soul Detective, help us to uncover the origin of those?
Well, you know what?
And does she need to?
That's a great question, but
Yeah.
we're bumping up against a commercial.
I got so excited.
Yeah. So let me take a quick break here.
Okay.
And then let's make that question the first one right out of next segment. Can we do that? We're with Soul Detective Nancy Orlen Weber today. This is a great little book. It's called Soul Detective. It's how to solve the inner mystery of you. The invitation for all of us that Nancy's making is shift our focus from the drama of the outside,
The kingdom within.
to shift to the kingdom within. Yeah, I like that. Soul Detective Nancy Orlen Weber, our life strategist today, here on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies, strategies, strategies for living radio.
And welcome back in. Welcome back into Strategies for Living Radio. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian. We're with a soul detective today. She is Nancy Orlen Weber. Actually, she's inviting all of us to become soul detectives, and I hope you'll get the book because she shows us. She takes us by the hand and shows us in the book how to do that. You can also find her on YouTube. You can find her on Facebook, or you can go to her website, nancyorlenweber.com. You can, if you'd like private mentoring sessions, you can find out about that there. All of that is on the website, nancyorlenweber.com.
Right. So we finished last segment and we didn't get to the question that I posed, which was, we started talking about triggers, which often shed light on some repeating patterns that we have. And the question was, what are some of your methods that help us to uncover the origins of those patterns?
There's a blend for me of
Okay.
practical, everyday things, and then the other realm.
Mm.
On the practical side, I believe in stop. If you have a trigger, if you can catch yourself for a moment, notice it. It's okay to notice it. Also know that a repeat pattern, if it's something you really want to stop, it means you have to involve all your senses, all of them. You have to know the language you are storing it in. Your brain is a computer and it's got data and downloads, and it cannot judge what you give it. So on a very practical level, I notice when I have a trigger and a repeat pattern, and I go, I can't, what's going on here?
Right.
Right? I notice my words and my feelings, those emotions that will cascade into the nervous system, into the bridges between nerve cells, the synapse, and that is studies by Dr. Candace Pert, who found that and wrote a book, Molecules of Emotions, is
Yes.
one of her first,
Yeah.
right? And so I know that certain things are triggers from the outside also. Fragrance, synthetics, any kind of synthetic, whether it's clothing on your skin that's synthetic, whether it's fragrances that are synthetic or have synthetics in them. That's the fastest way, actually, to your brain.
Thank you. Thank
For
you for
your
that, Nancy.
factory.
Just this morning, this morning I'm shaving, and we have this conversation all the time, and you're just hitting on it. So this morning I'm shaving, and Lauren, I'm an old guy, and I like Old Spice, the original Old Spice, and I like Menon's Skin Bracer. And so she took my Old Spice weeks ago after she read the ingredients in it. But
I'm clapping. Supporting her.
She
Thank you, Nancy.
She left the Menon's Skin Bracer, and I finished shaving this morning, and then I'm looking around for my skin bracer, and I said, "You took it, didn't you?" I passed her in the hallway, and I said, "You took it, didn't you?" And she didn't even have to answer me. The smirk on her face told me.
May I give you a little, this is a little sidebar on it?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
And I've never really publicly told people. I have told people quietly. Many years ago, because I use other things that are real scent, without going there because it's not compliant legally, I was called in by a medical director of one of the largest pharmaceutical houses in the world. I was asked to bring my reference books on what I do and study. I said, sure. I was brought to a conference room with 12 chemists. I said, why am I here and what are you doing? And they said, well, we work in research and development of fragrances and synthetic additives to the actual ones. And every one of us has rare forms of cancer, and we know we got it from that.
Wow. Wow.
So Old Spice, man, I understand. My husband used Dove soap for years when we first got married, and I quickly said, okay, you need a little lesson. I thought you knew physics and electrical engineer, patent designer, scientist, chemist, what the heck?
Yep.
And so I showed him, and he threw it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's much older than you, by the way, David.
Well,
And
that's
so
good
am
to know. I'm researching now and using essential oils to make my own,
Yeah, that's what I did with my.
Old Spice or whatever.
so
Yeah.
I'm offering you private talk because I can talk privately to anybody and tell you what I know. And that's all I can tell you about it here.
Okay.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so next.
Gotcha. All right. So in the time we've got left, you mentioned in between our while we were off the air,
The triggers.
you mentioned
Right.
the importance of journaling.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
that really resonates with Lauren. Talk a little
Absolutely.
bit about journaling, because when you say journaling, a lot of people are going. We talk about it all. We talk about it all the time here on
There's
Strategies.
different ways.
Yeah,
Different.
but a lot of people immediately, say, I don't know if I can do that. So talk about that a bit. We've got a couple of minutes here.
I'm happy to. One, everybody does things differently, and it's the self-discovery that matters more than anything. So saying that to one, when you write with your hand and on a paper anywhere, it doesn't have to be a journal. I have sticky notes everywhere because I quickly scribble something and I throw it somewhere, and then I dictate it into a program. So journal prompts are really a method of using your hand to brain and eye that will inculcate the memory bank 85% stronger than almost anything. And I'm a fast typist. I learned it in 8th grade, and I could do 108 words a minute overnight.
Wow.
So I'm a typist, but I hand write first everything I can. And then I just talk it into my program online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I keep it simple.
Nowadays it makes it easy.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Makes it easy. But here's the other part for journal prompting, for getting inside you.
Okay.
One, you don't have to do it all the time. But if you have a dream that's significant to you, write it down. And the reason you write it down is it won't be accurate. You will lose some of that memory. I don't care what you say. Within days, pieces of it will be gone.
Yeah.
Write it right down. And then look months later, weeks later, because it has to resonate with you no matter how anybody else can interpret it, or you can look up symbols. It's nothing like you.
Right.
You're the only one who will know the truth about it. So when I do things like a trigger and I write down something about it, I start looking at the language I use even on paper and consider, is that something that's looking for solutions, or is that me talking about the brick wall I just hit?
We are.
And then,
I got to get to a break here, Nancy.
Yep.
I'm going to invite people to connect with you, continue the conference. We're going to have you back,
For sure.
but I'm gonna invite people in between time to get the book Soul Detective and continue the conversation with you and themselves that way. Nancy Orlen Weber, and we'll be back to wrap up here on Strategies for Living in just a moment. And welcome back into Strategies for Living. Life strategists like Nancy Orlen Weber
You gotta give us some more time.
are the
man.
reason that we need a 4-hour show every day. So, folks, in the meantime, go get the book, Soul Detective, How to Solve the Inner Mystery of You. It is packed full of help for all of us to go within and become our own soul detective. You can also find Nancy at nancyorlenweber.com. You can find her on YouTube, on Facebook, and I hope you will. Nancy, in the minute we've got left, what do you want to leave us with? What's the most important thing? We've covered a lot of ground today, and there's so much more we could cover. But what's in a minute, what do you want to really leave people with?
thank you, David. If you have a broken trust, you need to heal it. And the way you start off, if you have anything, you start off with words like, I like myself. I love my life. I like all parts of me, even the parts that are not liked by others. It doesn't really matter. I like me. And so I am entitled to feel good about my own life. I am entitled to do this. Nature will abhor a vacuum. So when you take away a pattern that doesn't work and say things differently and think things differently, they better be very positive in regards to who you are. And that's when everything starts opening up in you. You're giving yourself permission to know the great parts that are hidden.
I love it.
The wonder. Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you
Soul
so much.
Detective. How to solve the inner mystery of you. Check it out, Nancy Orlen Weber. Folks, thank you for joining us here on Strategies for Living, and we appreciate our sponsors, the Robinson Film Center, Azalea Cleaners, Pintail Roofing, Learning RX, We Train Your Brain, the Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of the Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage, pretty good Muffies too, SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira, Direct Primary Care. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call? What would you say? Why are you waiting? Make the call. For Nancy Orlen Weber, for Lauren Leon McMillian, I'm David McMillian. See you next time on Strategies for Living.